Twisted Terrors, now your host, Zomboy.
What is going on, you guys? Zomboy here. You're watching another episode of Twisted Terrors. On this episode, we're doing something a little bit different. I traveled to California to check out Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. This year, they had Fallout, Five Nights at Freddy's, Monstrous 3, Ghosts of Latin America, Terrifier, Jason Universe, Poltergeist, Terror Tram, Enter the Blumhouse, WWE presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Six, and Scarecrow, music by Slash. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the Scarecrow, music by Slash, which is one I wanted to check out. And I did not check out WWE because I just really don't care about wrestling. In this episode, I'm gonna tell you about the houses and what I thought of them. First one I want to talk about is Fallout. Fallout was an interesting one. I really had a hard time picturing this one as a haunted house, and it was extremely awesome, but I didn't find it scary at all. I will say there was a Yu-Gi-Oh that they built in this that was amazing. The actors did a great job. The sets were great. You did get to walk through some vaults and see some giant vault doors. When I think of horror, I don't think of Fallout. It is a cool game and I am a fan of the game. Therefore, I did think the house was very cool, just wasn't very scary. The next one is Five Nights at Freddy's. I will tell you, I was extremely impressed with this one. It's built in a soundstage. First thing when you walk in is an absolute recreation of the Five Nights at Freddy's pizzeria from the movie. Looked absolutely spot on, from grass to plants growing up the walls. The lights were flickering. This house took up half the soundstage, and all you can hear while waiting in line is people screaming inside. You walk in, the animatronics were spot on. I was very impressed because they were operated by, for the most part, live actors were operating these animatronics. It was awesome. I mean, it felt like you were in the movie or in the video game. I went with my two daughters who are, I will say, fanatics of Five Nights at Freddy's, so this was really cool for them as well. They were very excited. The next one is Monstrous 3, Ghosts of Latin America. This one was pretty neat. There were some really neat concepts inside. One of them was La Llorona. I like this one. Again, I think it fell a little short compared to some of the other ones we went through. I will say by the end, I was glad I went through it. It was neat. It was lots of jump scares inside, but not one of my favorites. Next one to talk about is the Terrifier house. This is the one I was most excited to see, only because I'm a huge Terrifier fan, and this one was the first house we went to. It was a pretty big line. The outside was absolutely amazing. They had a guy dressed as Terrifier outside, kind of picking on everyone in line. He was awesome, carried a bag with weapons, severed heads. This one was amazing. You walk in and right away you feel like you're in the movie. There's multiple scenes from each of the three Terrifier movies. The scenes in this were gory. They sprayed you with blood. They were awesome. I mean, I came out of Terrifier super stoked, just as excited as I was when I went in. So I will say the Terrifier was spot on. The actors were great. The jump scares were great. There was a lot of them. Very exciting. The next one is the Jason Universe. This one was pretty cool as well. When you walk up to it, it is a bunch of tree trunks with branches above. So when you walk into it, you feel like you're walking through the forest. Lots of camp counselors in this one. Jason's running around. There's some really cool scenes. Jason's attacking a girl in a car. That one was really neat. There was a full-size Volkswagen Bug in there. There's a scene where Jason's got a bow and arrow. He fires an arrow at a camp counselor who dies. Jason was really cool. The sounds were neat. The actors that played Jason were big. They were scary. it was a good one. I highly recommend that one. The next one was Poltergeist. I was very excited for this one. They had a replica of the front of the house built with sounds of Tangia inside, and I went in, and I will say I was very disappointed with this one. You walk in, a lot of projectors making things on the wall. It's supposed to look like portals. I didn't find this one very exciting. I will say there's two creatures in this from the movie, the big skeleton guy and the giant face that comes out. They recreated those. Those were awesome. There was a guy dressed as the clown. There were some great concepts of the tree breaking through a window. So there were some cool scenes from the movie. But when I came out of this one, I just felt like they threw some scenes together and they weren't real scary. And I just kind of felt like that one was just kind of thrown together. But all in all, I was glad I went through it. I'm a huge Poltergeist fan, so it was really neat to walk through. The next one I'll talk about is the Terror Tram. This one was put on by Blumhouse, where they had a bunch of scenes built from horror movies that you could walk through. So there was some Megan stuff, some Black Phone 2, The Purge. There were some really cool scenes in there. There was a lot of people running around with chainsaws. It was really neat. You got to walk up to the Psycho house, take pictures in front of the Psycho house. It was fun. I enjoyed that one thoroughly. The last two, WWE presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Six. I didn't attend that one only because I'm not a WWE fan. Scarecrow music by Slash. Unfortunately for us, we waited in line for so long. It was 2 o'clock in the morning by the time we were finishing up with Fallout, and we just had no more time, so we missed that one, which I heard was really neat. So I will say, for me, the Terrifier was my favorite just because the scenes were great. Art the Clown, whoever played him was doing a great job. The mannerisms, they interacted with the crowd. The scenes were disgusting, they were gory, pulled right out of the movie. Probably Five Nights at Freddy's was gonna be my second favorite, followed by the Terror Tram. That was probably my third favorite. Probably Jason Universe, Fallout, Monstrous 3, and then Poltergeist. So that's the order I put them in. If you have a chance to go check it out, I highly recommend it. There is scare zones all over the place with people running around. There's flames shooting everywhere, loud music. It was an absolute blast. So that is all I have to say about that. I will put some videos out of my walkthroughs of the houses. I appreciate watching this video. I will see you on the next one. This is Zomboy saying good night.